Welcome back, folks. Bill Mitchell here with Your Voice America. I'm with Derek Schwartz today. This is part of our campaign corner thing that we do every week. Each night we're trying to interview folks that are running for Congress or thinking about running for Congress, and they're MAGA candidates that are going to support the Trump agenda when they get there. And we need that. We lost a lot of never-Trumpers in 2018, and we need to fill those spots back up with pro-Trump people to replace those freshmen do-nothing Democrats. Derek, how are you?
Great, Bill. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited. I think that the Democrats are digging themselves a real deep hole on this whole impeachment thing, and they're all in at this point. What can they do? They can't turn back. But I don't think that Adam Schiff wants this thing to go to the Senate, because if it does, he's getting called in to testify under oath about his relationship with a whistleblower, and I don't think he wants that at all. But anyway, that's another story for another day. Let's talk about your run for Congress. You are looking at Florida 19. Right now, Francis Rooney is there and retiring, and you're doing exploratory right now, a couple weeks away from making a choice on running there. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, Bill, I chose to do an exploratory so I could build a team in advance and decide if District 19 was the correct district to be in. It is, right, as we know, a very Republican-heavy district, which is very, very interesting and good for the president.
Yeah, which cities are those? Which cities is that are made up of?
You have Naples, you have Fort Myers, you have Marco Island, Sanibel Island, you have Collier County and Lee County on the east, on the west coast, on the water.
Very good. Now, do you have a background in politics? Is this something new for you?
No, I do not have a background in politics. I am a lawyer. I've been a lawyer for 18 years.
Yeah.
I'm a conservative at heart, and I'm an unapologetic Trump supporter.
Fantastic. Now, how did you come to support Donald Trump? What was it that attracted you to him? Were you with him from the beginning? Were you with somebody else and you shifted over to him? What was your journey on that?
I was a supporter, as you've heard before from other people, I'm sure, the day he came down the escalator.
Yeah,
I was looking personally for someone who was different than everyone else. As in the past, everyone has been sort of mainstream center. You saw all the candidates all the other years prior to that. He was the first one that came down and said, I'm doing it differently, and I'm going to call everybody out and call it for what it is. And that, I think, struck a lot of people, including myself, at the heart, which is where we are today.
Me too. Yeah. I'd always wanted a business person to run the government, because I wanted to see somebody that actually had a bottom line, got to make a profit, motivation, as opposed to got to spend all the money so I get more money next year, motivation. And, it's funny, but a lot of people, give lawyers a hard time and that sort of thing. It's like, oh, why is Congress full of lawyers? Well, being a congressperson is not just about all, speeches and swanky, parties. It's about legislating, and lawyers are naturally good at legislating because they understand the law, they understand the details, and being in Congress is very detail oriented. Those laws are very complicated. Do you think your background in law will help you?
I think it's an absolute benefit. I have an accounting background from Emory University undergraduate and University of Florida Law School, and I consider myself a business lawyer, a tax lawyer, a real estate planning lawyer, so I understand, for example, the tax code.
Right.
The tax code voluminous, and I understand it. I think that's a benefit going into Congress. I think I can write legislation immediately, and that's my goal. My goal is actually to get Congress to work again. It's naive to think that one person, one congressman can convince everyone else to work, but that is what needs to happen. I actually trademarked a slogan, make Congress work again.
Yeah.
So
well,
it's similar
true
to the president's.
It's true.
Different.
And I tell you what, we really need to get a MAGA Congress in there that'll back Trump's agenda. The Paul Ryan Congress, they wouldn't fund the wall. They wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do the other. And this is one of the reasons why they lost in 2018, because they didn't get anything done. And if it's even possible, the Democrats have gotten even less done than those guys got done. So we need to replace those freshman Democrats. We also need to replace folks that are retiring, Republicans retiring, and put another Republican in there, not lose that seat to a Democrat. Don't you agree?
I absolutely agree. I have to commend Representative Rooney for sticking with his term limit pledge. I, too, would have a term limit pledge. Yeah. I do not want to be a career politician. I don't believe in career politicians. I think that's one of the worst things about politics is we have people in Congress that have been there forever. As you can see, if we're picking on one side today, we have Nancy Pelosi, we have Adam Schiff. They've been there forever. And it becomes a partisan witch hunt at some point. For example, the impeachment. For example, Kavanaugh a year ago. You see that when you have career politicians. If people are in and out, that's a different story. They get things done. That's my goal, is to be a bottom line type of guy. Business, make a decision, get it done. Let's write the new law and move on.
Absolutely. I tell you what, and to stay in Congress that long, you got to do a lot of people a lot of favors, and you owe people a lot of favors, and that's what happens is, got to raise a lot of money, and those people who give you that money are expecting something in return. And that's what you've got with Adam Schiff and Nancy Pelosi is two people that are really bought and sold by their interests in their fundraisers and that sort of thing. So that's the tune that they have to march to, and the benefit of coming in there, doing the job, and then getting out and making room for someone else is you don't create all those relationships where you owe so many favors.
I agree, Bill. For example, in Florida, there are a lot of politicians that are career politicians at the state level. Water quality in Florida is one of the biggest issues. It's especially one of the biggest issues in District 19.
Right.
Governor DeSantis has been wonderful with it. Brian Mast is a champion of clean water. They need to be. Anyone south of Lake Okeechobee needs to be. But where I'm going with this is, we have Big Sugar in Florida, and Big Sugar is the biggest lobbyist in Florida. And a lot of people are in the back pocket. They have Big Sugar. I don't want Big Sugar in my back pocket. They won't be in my back pocket. So for District 19, when I decide to announce and run as a congressman or a candidate for Congress, the constituents will know that I do not have any special interest in my pocket, especially Big Sugar.
Yeah, fantastic. Okay, let's talk about your main issues here. School safety. Talk about that.
School safety is very important. I've seen everything that's happened, like you have in Parkland. I've become very close with some of the parents. One of the champions on the right side is a friend of mine, and I find it to be vital for the health of our nation to not only have school safety, but also bring back conservatism to the school, bring back God in school. They don't teach what the Constitution is. They don't teach the Founding Fathers anymore. They try to get away with it. So between school safety and bringing back God into our school and our classroom, I think those two things combined, I will be a champion of that in District 19 as well as the nation.
Absolutely fantastic.
And that's my goal.
Okay, the opioid epidemic, obviously a real problem. People get hooked on this just getting over painkillers and that sort of thing, and they go hooked for different reasons, and it really has become a big, huge problem in America. What can we do about that?
Well, there's two ways. It needs to be addressed. It needs to be addressed at the local level as well as at a national level. Clearly in Florida, we have a huge epidemic. In South Florida, on the East Coast, Delray Beach, for example, is one of the havens for a rehab center. It needs to be addressed from the user, but it's also a mental health issue, and it's also a big pharma issue because big pharma is pushing out the pills. Right. And again, when we get back to, do you have a special interest in my back pocket? I do not. So it's naive to think I can solve the opioid crisis by myself, but today I just was informed that I have someone very large, someone who's very well known in the opioid crisis area in prevention and healing, who's willing to join the team. So when I hit the ground running, we're going to have an opioid expert as an advisor. We're going to have a school safety expert as an advisor. And I want them to be instrumental because it is naive to think one person can change the world. Donald Trump's done an awesome job at getting us started.
Yeah, he's Donald Trump.
And I want to follow in his footsteps.
He's larger than life.
Right. The reality is in District 19, as one congressman of 435 total, it's not as easy in the House of Representatives, rather. You can't change it by yourself. So you need a team around you. And the issue is on a local stage to see the need in Southwest Florida in District 19. It's a very wealthy area. The schools can be improved. The school safety can absolutely be improved everywhere throughout the nation. I mean, there should be everything from look, I'm a lawyer by trade, as I've stated, 19 years. When I enter the courtroom, you have to go through a metal detector. You have to be wanded.
Right.
Now, there should be that in a school. I firmly believe that should be in a school. There should be more safety resource officers. Then you go to open carry, and should there still be a gun-free zone in a school? Those are things that need to be addressed from a local level, a state level, and also in United States Congress.
Fantastic. Well, Derek, it takes money to make these things work. How do people reach out to you? How do they support your potential campaign?
Well, I can't necessarily give you, because I'm not yet a candidate, my actual domain name or website, but it will be, with quotes around it, voteforschwartz.com. Okay. For now, they can reach out to me at derekashwartz.com, or they can reach out to me on my cell phone, which I'll give to them, 561-302-0009. They can reach out to me and help out in this process of deciding whether to become a candidate or not. I see that the horizon is in front of me, and I see making a decision, but I want to do it the right way with the right team, the right advisors in place, not just throw my hat in the ring and then figure it out.
Fantastic, fantastic. Well, folks, we will keep up with Derek's journey here, and if he decides to run, and we'll get him back on the show. If he wins the primary, then we'll get him back on the show again, because we really need those MAGA candidates in there. Derek, thank you so much for coming on Your Voice America today.
Thank you, Bill. It's a pleasure.
Okay, take care. We'll see you soon.
Thanks.